What I like most about riding bikes is that it's not just great exercise. It's also a really good excuse just to get outside and breathe some fresh air, get some sun, and just pedal your worries away. And sometimes the best rides will take you to the end of the road, where the pavement ends and the real fun begins.
So gear up, because we're going off-road on this episode of Velopod.
Coming off the street onto a trail like this is like being transported into a completely different world. No more cars, no traffic, no busy intersections. It's just you, your bike, nature, the trail, and of course, a little bit of rock and roll.
But that's why we do it, right? The rocks, the ruts, washboard, woohoo!
So, one of my favorite bikes for this kind of riding is the Salsa Cutthroat, which is a gravel bike that shares some pretty mountain bikey geometry. The frame is made of carbon fiber, so it's light and stiff. It has clearance for beefy 29er mountain bike tires, and the gears and brakes are more than enough to handle some pretty tough terrain. On the road, the Cutthroat performs surprisingly well too. Granted, the seating position isn't as aero as most road bikes, and the fatter tires aren't the fastest, but it sure is comfortable, and I really enjoy how it handles road hazards like potholes and loose gravel, uneven grades.
So a bike that's great on the street and on the trail. What more could you want?
Well, in a word,
suspension.
And I don't mean the massive 200mm cushion you can get with today's mountain bikes. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of full suspension. I just find it a little overkill for street riding. What I'm talking about is just enough to take the edge off the rough stuff, without adding too much complexity or extra weight to the bike. So, to smooth out the ride on the Cutthroat, I've swapped out the stock handlebar stem for the Redshift shock stop suspension stem. And for the back, I've installed the Coast suspension dropper post from Pacific Northwest. Now, this particular model from P&W not only comes with their world-renowned dropper post action, it also comes with an air shock for added suspension, making it, as Manon from the Global Cycling Network would say,
a suspension seat post that is also a proper dropper.
Okay, so I installed the Redshift stem and the P&W suspension post onto the Cutthroat. And I thought to myself, what better place to try them out than the Ada Eagle Bike Park, located just outside Boise, Idaho, in the foothills of the city of Eagle.
September 1995. Ada County Parks Commission and the City of Eagle joined forces to create the Ada Eagle Bike Park and Sports Complex, creating approximately 85 acres of landfill buffer property dedicated to public recreation development.
Wait, what?
That's right. The park is not only a great place to ride, it's also a buffer zone intended to prevent adverse impacts from the nearby Ada County landfill's waste processing and disposal activities.
So, while you're enjoying the park, you're also helping the environment. And from up here, you can get a really good view of all this place has to offer. In every direction, there are miles of trails winding through the foothills. Trails with names like Shake and Dig, Rabbit Run, and Storm and Mormon, which is an expert trail. In fact, there's something for just about every skill level. And speaking of skills, there's even a skills course where you can practice, ramp skills, jump skills, bike handling skills.
Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
So the Ada County Bike Park is officially known as a recreation center. So it's not just for bikes. And right over there is a basketball court, a roller hockey rink, a skate park, a dog park. Heck, there's even an off-road RC racetrack. And with all this bike park has to offer, I almost forgot why I came here in the first place. So let's put the Cutthroat with the redshift stem and the P&W suspension post through their paces, shall we?
Okay, right off the bat, I can tell the redshift stem is doing an amazing job at taking the edge off the rough stuff. And the P&W suspension seat post is really impressive too. There are sections of this trail where I'd normally have to stand up on the pedals to avoid getting my butt kicked by the seat going over some of this stuff. But this added suspension is really good at absorbing the hits and bumps on the trail, especially when picking up speed and especially when going downhill. I mean, I feel like I can take on almost anything this bike park can throw at me.
So what do you think? Should I go for it? What the heck?
He's hit the gap. He makes it. He's off the bike.
What are you, nuts? Of course I didn't take that jump. I mean, the redshift stem and the P&W suspension post did a great job at smoothing out the trails here at the Ada Eagle Bike Park, but they are in no way a substitute for a full suspension mountain bike. And I'd also like to thank the late great Robbie Knievel for giving this video a spectacular ending. And if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll click the like button and subscribe so I can see you on the next Velopod. Until then, ride safe and share the trail. There's room for everybody.